Good afternoon to one and all present here. My name is Viren Verma, and I'm going to be presenting our project for Hacklytics 2025, which is the repurposing of drugs for a virus using ensemble learning and generative adversarial networks to create similar high-performing molecules. So whenever a pharma company is trying to develop a new drug against a particular virus, it usually takes them 5 to 10 years to develop the entire drug as well as get it FDA approved. So whenever a new virus is introduced to the world like COVID-19, it is much wiser to use already pre-existing FDA approved drugs to repurpose them to fight against these drugs. Here, we're using a machine learning approach to do that. We're converting drug molecules into simplified molecular input line entry systems and encoding them to create a regression line between that and the binding affinity of that virus's main protease. If these drugs are bonded as closely with that main protease, they inhibit the growth of that particular virus, and that's how they stop them. And in this particular approach, we have successfully done that with an R2 score of almost 82%. We use this particular machine learning network as a differentiator network to create a generative adversarial network. But first, we created a web application to host this particular differentiator network so that people could put in their chemical formulas as well as drug names to test how well that particular drug would perform against a particular virus. In our case, it's COVID-19. Our approach can work against any particular virus, but over here specifically, we have taken the example of COVID-19. This particular website is also hosted. Coming next, we use the same differentiator network as we created earlier into a generative adversarial network to make it to reinforce higher and higher bonding affinities. How a generative adversarial network works is basically it takes noise and then keeps on generating molecules that have higher and higher binding affinity with respect to the main protease. And that's how we get newer molecules that can be synthesized that work much better for COVID-19 rather than repurposed drugs. Here is an example of the particular website we hosted locally. As we can see, the affinity is minus 6.55.